Hi, everybody. Welcome to an installment of Pilates and Strength. And I thought we'd do a little more leaning into the Pilates routine than the strength, although I have definitely put in some things that you'll want to have your weights around for. So we're going to work with the routine or the process here of what the Pilates work generally looks like. And I'm just going to double check one thing. I think it's okay there. And yeah, so let's just get started. Let's get the practice underway. So come on down to the floor and doing a little check-in there at the when you get down to the floor, seeing how the body feels. As we know, we want to do this work for the physical body, but we also want to check in and make that embodiment connection so we feel like our mind and body are in the same space. Sometimes, oftentimes for me, mind is very much in a different space than my body. Thinking, planning, that's not necessarily always really embodied. Let's take the hands behind the head. So, first on our list is the 100, and the preparation work for that is the mini crunch. So, lifting the head off the floor and then curling up, bringing those ribs down in toward the pelvic crest to come up and hold. And then you're up in your 100 position. Let your neck be as at ease as you can be. I'm kind of moving mine around, making sure that I'm still holding myself up here, but that I'm not pulling on my neck, and I'm also not pushing my head back. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. And I'm just going to relax my face. Been doing a lot of computer work, a lot of thinking work. Let's see if I can use this opportunity to rest my head a little bit, but work my body. Bringing myself back up, bringing yourself back up into that mini crunch, and then we'll add the legs coming up, knees over the hips. See if you can bring that energy even more into the belly so that you're kind of squeezing things. You might feel a little lift there. Hands could be back here helping out, or maybe hands come to the backs of the legs and you give yourself that little help with the arms, but then let go. Let the arms be really loose. 3, 2, 1, and come down. And relax again. And let's consciously relax the head, the face, maybe around your ears, maybe around your cheekbones. You can bring your fingers there and relax the muscles around on top of them, around the sides, the bottom. We get into the jaw there, relaxing the jaw. And then let's give this one more time. So we'll come into the full 100, and you can try to count how many breaths you're there so you have some accountability to the practice there. Coming up, the legs come up, the feet can come up a little bit higher if you'd like. The hands can come behind the legs if you'd like, pulling up a little bit. Watch to see, let your tail be at ease here, reaching out. And then the hands, if you'd like, can bounce alongside the body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale and exhale. 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 One more time. Inhale and exhale. Maybe grab on there. Give yourself a nice hold. Bring the legs down. Bring the upper body down. And relax the head again. Maybe you relax a little bit in the chest, a little bit in the throat, maybe even reaching the chin upward. Feels good to do that after the 100, especially if I'm not doing it enough. Um, so had a little break in my routine, getting back into it definitely can feel a little bit of that. Okay, use your momentum to find your way up, maybe a leg, maybe something like that. And if you have a strap or an elastic nearby, I'm going to use this one that I have here, but you could use an open one too. It doesn't have to be closed. And I'm going to use it to help with the roll down or roll up, however you want to look at it. And a lot of times we start with the roll down because we really want to control that movement and get the belly working. And then we have it to help. A lot of people kind of hit the wall right here after they get to the mini crunch position. It's hard to bring yourself up and over into the middle of the back. So maybe your band is helpful, or maybe you've been practicing every day and you're able to do this without the band. So I feel like I'm getting pretty warmed up here, and maybe I'm going to try one roll down, roll up, one or two without my elastic. When you come down, you can take your hands overhead. Finding your way up. And one more for good measure. And I'm going to land here on the floor. Bring your hands alongside the body. Next in line is leg circle. So let's bring one leg up. And you can have as much bend in the knee as you'd like. So the idea is that you're controlling from the belly. You're letting the belly have a lot of strength here so that you're not rocking back and forth on the pelvis. And sometimes when the leg is really straight, we might be asking a lot more than we're able to do. So the more your knee is bent, the easier it will be to keep this pelvis steady. Hands alongside. Let's take the knee inward, downward, outward, and back to where you started. In, down, and back. In, down, and back. In, down. Good. And maybe you've got space in your brain to watch how far am I going outward? Do I take that knee way out there and things kind of get tippy? Let's go to the outside now. So you don't have to overdo. If you're going to go any direction a little bit further, it's the downward movement kind of toward the other foot. If you're going to go out and challenge it anywhere, I wouldn't necessarily challenge it on the two extremes side to side, but more downward. There's good work there throughout the circle. And then let's bring that leg down. And relax the face again. And then let's try the other side. Leg comes up, bend in the knee, maybe a lot of bend in the knee. You could work simply from the knee or with your foot up at any degree here. Inside, down and around. In, down and around. Other direction. I'm exhaling the second part of the movement. And leg comes down. All right, let's use that leg again, one leg or the other. to find your way upward. And then go ahead and practice this one maybe as much as I used to. So we'll play with it a little bit. But we do work with C-spine quite a bit. When we go into intermediate work, we come into this position behind the sitting bones, drawing the arms, the elbows come out, getting nice and broad in the chest, broad in the back, wide in the chest, and trying to bring those ribs back, trying to round the spine as much as we can. So in our mind, we're rounded all over the place. And you can take one foot off and the other foot off. And I'll often work with that balance there. But today we're doing the routine. We're going kind of down the list. So if we're going to do down the list, we're going to do a little rolling like a ball. So then we give it a try to come back and forward. And the tendency, if you're newer, might be that you would have your hands behind your legs here. And it might be that you use your feet to get that momentum. As we grow in the practice, hands in front, legs stay, knees stay at the same angle with each roll. I did use my legs a little bit there to pull myself up because I slowed it down enough that I needed my toes to reach out. Could feel that. One more. It's kind of fun. All right. And I'm going to come back down. And then let's take one knee over the hip. And let's take that leg nice and straight just to see how that feels and bring it back down. Bring it up nice and straight. Reach through your heel and toe, heel and toe, heel and toe. Just working with that fascia as we get warmed up. Try the other one. Up and down a couple of times. Up and down. We'll work with the lower body when we come up onto our feet, but so far we haven't done much there. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Wave your toes, toe and point. Wave and point. Getting that nice movement in my ankle, but also up the leg, both front and back. All right, now that we've worked with that a little bit, let's bring our one knee in. Lift your head like you were going to do your mini crunch or the 100, right? And you can use your arms or your hands at the knee like this if you'd like. I'm going to bring one leg in and the other leg in and the other leg in and the other leg in. Good. Bring the head down for a break. And then that same movement, we're going to bring both knees up, one leg in, head down, and reach the other foot out. One knee in, reach the other foot out, reach, reach, reach. Now it's up to you if you want to combine these two, bringing the head up, hands come to that knee. Good. And coming down. All right. Both legs come up. We'll continue with the stomach series. So let's bring the heels together, turning the toes out into Pilates V. The knees come apart a little bit. And then let's reach and pull back. Reach and pull back. And as I do that, I'm moving with my feet, pointing with toes as I go out and pulling them back. Again, working with the legs a little bit, the ankles, relaxing the face, letting some of that thinking go, all that tension that I hadn't realized was there until I come to the practice. Now we add in a little bit of upper body, if you wish. So we're going to come up just like we have, into our mini crunch position. And we're going to see about moving the arms, moving the legs. So the legs, we know what they're going to do. They're going to go out, and maybe that's enough. Maybe the hands stay near the body. If you'd like, the arms could come up and out. And as the legs come in, bring the hands up to the legs. Reach out, around, and back in. Out, around, and back in. Up and around and back in. Up and around and back in. Up and around, back in. One more. Up, around, and back in. Come on down. Bring your head down. And soften the face again. Good. And then bringing one leg up. We already worked with the fascia already. Just see how that feels to have a straighter leg. Bring the other leg up. How does it feel to have a straighter leg? You can even work with the legs a little bit more. Straight, straight. And then pulling, we're going to come up with the upper body again. That stomach series is all about being in that mini crunch or 100 place for the upper body. And we're going to bring that leg toward us. The other leg lowers. You don't have to pull very hard, and there's a little pulse if you want to do that. Pulse, 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 pulse. Keep that belly working. Good. And coming down. Belly might be getting tired. Starting to feel that a little bit in my throat here. That's just where I'm taking on some of that work. So I'm just gonna bring my hands there to acknowledge that. I'm gonna try to keep using my belly. And thankfully, this last one, we support the head a little bit more. So what we're gonna do then, remember how we took the legs and we alternated the legs out? We're gonna do a little bit of that again. Knees over the hips, hands behind the head. Lifting up, we've got a little more support, so making sure that your throat and your neck, everything is feeling supported. And then one leg comes in, opposite shoulder toward that knee, opposite shoulder toward that knee. It looks like I'm reaching my elbow. I am not. I'm really working on how much can that shoulder come across. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and maybe one more for good measure. Coming down, and we did crisscross. Good news. We're going to take a little break from the Pilates. We're going to come up to our feet and grab the weights. Just going to check on the video. Make sure we're all good. Yes. All right. So we're just going to alternate from upper body to lower body with some of our basic things that we do in our weights. So I always start with biceps. Let's start with triceps today. I'm going to come forward in that forward stance. Knees can be bent, hips back. I'm supporting the body here with the spine, with my core. And I'm going to draw those arms in and close to the body, just like when I do a row, which we'll do in a moment. Bring those row arms in, and we're going to stabilize. Shoulder's not going to move, and elbow is just going to hinge. Taking the weights back. All right, slow it down. One of the things we talked about to up the ante, we're going to slow it down a little bit. Take it out, pause, slow it down. Slowly pushing back, Slowly coming forward. Slowly pushing back. It's hard to do it, isn't it? Sometimes we just want to swing. Slowly pushing back in, slowly pushing back and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. So even if my weights aren't that much, I can definitely feel that as we do a little more slowly. Okay, let's keep our weights and come into a squat. Regular old squat, we'll start high and we might see if we can come a little bit lower. In past classes, we've used some kind of feedback, right? How far am I going down? Am I getting down as low as a chair? And let's go ahead and go. You can hold your weights up here if you'd like, or at your sides. Good. Maybe getting a little bit lower. I'm going to see if I got 5 left. I'm going to slow it down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Good. Let's head right into biceps. 10, 9. If you have heavier weights, you will stop sooner. If you have really light weights, you might need to do more or slow it down. You have to add those ways to make it a little bit harder. 2, 1. Hopefully I'm somewhere close to where that 10 mark was. All right, back to lower body. Let's do some lunging. Now, lunging can be really nice with a little support. So grab the chair, grab the wall, and give yourself that support if you need it. You're going to take 1 foot back. Give yourself enough space. If there's one thing I saw a lot in my classes, it was the foot didn't go back very far. And then it's okay. We're doing kind of a different, very different kind of lunge, right? It's harder to go down a little bit further there when I'm so close together with my legs, with my feet. So I'm going to see about this lunge, see how it feels, maybe make some adjustments. Maybe lifting those weights up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stepping forward. I'm going to go right into the other side. Again, my foot is back there. This can be a balancing act. So the front foot maybe goes out to the side a little bit, or you have your hand on something, and you give yourself all the stability you need for these lunges. They are really helpful. This is us pushing off to go walking up a hill. We make that step up on a staircase. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stepping forward. Okay, toes feel like they'd like to spread out a little bit. Let's bring ourselves into Pilates V here. You can ditch the weights if you'd like to. We're going to pick them up in a moment and work on, actually just keep them. You'll be good. Let's bend the knees. Toes are turned out just like we did on our back. And maybe it's a very small movement for you. And maybe it gets a little deeper. Let's do a little lift. A little bicep curl. So it looks a little different with how my hands are positioned. Good. All right, let's see about going the other direction. Heels together, lifting the heels, taking the arms overhead, heels down, heels up, heels down, heels up, pause, heels down, up and down, up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. All right, we head into our deadlift. Do we do our regular deadlift? Let's do that. So regular deadlifts, we really probably need more to lift. If you have that bag that you can put all your weights in, you could probably lift that here because we're really using a lot of our core, a lot of our legs. It's not particularly an upper body movement or an upper body strength activity. So we're going to take those weights forward and come up nice and tall, forward and up nice and tall. So I've got my sandbag here. If I wanted to up the ante, I could put all of this in a bag, lower it, and lift it. Lower it. I'm going to see if I can do that and lift it. Hang on, lower and lift. Oh yeah, lower and lift. Come all the way to upright. I have a little softness in the knees, but mostly straight in the legs. So wherever that is for you, it's nice to have somewhere to reach toward. Maybe you're setting your stuff on a stool and coming up. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving, get through our stuff. I'm gonna take my weights. I'm gonna work on the row. I'm gonna work on one side. So one foot might come back. I might lean forward like this. You don't have to be a split foot to do this. You can be feet together, and you can do the rows both on the same time if you'd like. Rowing, pulling back. I do these rows with the elbows pretty close to the body. There are other types. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. That's tricky. And take one foot back, so I've got a little more space here, and I'm going to pull, pull. Yeah, I think I got about 15 in there. And with the heavier weights, definitely feeling that. And again, took a little break, which don't recommend. Got a little running in, but it's good to be back. Okay, so we're headed off into a little more leg stuff. Yeah, and so you're welcome to keep your weights or lighten your load. I think I'm going to put mine down, taking your feet wider, turning the toes out. The wider we get, we want to turn the toes out a little bit. And we're going to take this into A little bit of full body here. We're going to come down into your squat, and then you're going to lean forward. Let your seat come up, your seat come down, and push down and come up. We're going to vary that again now. Down, seat comes up. We get to stretch the legs out a little bit. Seat comes down. This time, take one hand up, then the other, and push down to come up. If you need assistance, go ahead and grab that chair. Maybe the chair is in front of you. You're not coming down as low. Come on down. Up, down, arm, arm, push. Down, 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 up, down, arm, arm, push. Good. All right. Let's take this to the back of your mat. And then taking the arms out and up. That nice stretch up. And then taking the ribs back, just like we did when we were seated there, making our spine as round as we can. Reach out with the head, reach out with the hands. Get this nice roll down here. Letting the head go and walk the hands out. Get your plank position. You could hold the plank position, or maybe you bend your elbows just a little bit. Maybe they're like a third of the way down or half the way down. Get some push-ups in. 3, 2, 1. Remember, what we train is where we're strong. So one of these days I need to work with my knees down. Maybe this next time, rolling up, bringing the arms up. So I want to work with that full range of motion as well. Let's do that in this turn. I'm going to bring the arms all the way up. Forward. Get that nice spine stretch while we're standing. Feels good for the upper spine, the lower spine, middle, all of it. Walking forward with the hands. Plank position. So this time bring the knees down. They don't have to come down under the hips. In fact, you want them to be behind there so you can be in a plank position. And even if you can't push up all the way, maybe you can lower down all the way and then find your way up. Maybe you take the hands wider and you can push up all the way up to your knees. Let's lower down again. Work on the lowering down and maybe work on the pushing up. Hips in line with head, and all of that is one day, someday, coming up together. Lowering, pushing down, come up. Lowering, pushing down to come up. I'm going to walk myself back. We're rolling up. Exhaling, arms overhead. Nice rounded spine. All the way forward, walking the hands out. Good. Maybe you lower down with the whole body this time. Maybe the knees come down. All right. Let's get a little bit of stuff on our belly done. This is so nice for the posture. So bring your chin toward your chest and turn the head side to side a little bit. Your chin doesn't have to be really into your chest, but a little more than you're used to. Chin lowered. You can hear that in my voice. Just working with the head and neck a little bit. And heart rate is still doing its thing. And we're going to be continuing a little bit with that. So let's bring the arms up and let the heart rate stay there. Bring the feet up, reach the feet back behind you, and just lifting the feet off the floor. Let the palms just lift off the floor. Again, nose and chin toward the floor. You don't have to lift up any more than this. If you're feeling like it, the chest could come up, the head could lift as much as the chest is lifted in that nice arc. And then let's kick the feet, kick the feet behind you. Keep the legs nice and straight if you can, really straight. And then if you'd like, and the hands slapping the water, the Pilates swimming. Back into the Pilates repertoire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands in. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Use that push-up position. Bring the hands in near the chest, the elbows in near the body. This is your roll position. Pushing up to the knees. Come on back and stretch it out in a cat pose or a child's pose. See if you can bring some rounded feeling to the low back. And if you like the stretch you're feeling for your armpits, you keep your hands pressed down while you take your hips back, much like we do in downward dog. And then walk your feet through. All right, let's tie a bow in this with a little bit of twisting, and well, then we'll probably be on our way. So taking the feet at least mat width apart. And if you need to, letting the knees bump up is just fine. I want to feel those sit bones. And we're going to come into that rounded spine again. So we're going to be pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And we did this in standing. We did the spine stretch here. But we're going to take that into a little twist. So let's twist first. Nice and tall. So without pulling back, feel the twist. And let's do the other side. Without pulling back yet, more tall. Getting a little twist there. Taking a breath, if it feels okay to do so. You see my marker board paper is here. Didn't check my space very well. I'm going to take that now into that twist and forward. Into the twist, you're pulling back and you're reaching forward. Give it a little hold there. Really make sure you're pulling back with the belly. And coming back to center. Okay, bring the legs in. Remember how we started here at the top of the practice, talking about how we get rounded for rolling like a ball. Let's do that again. Bringing the toes in, doing a little balance here, bringing one foot off, then the other. Maybe the hands come to the back of the legs. And if you'd like, seeing about reaching your leg up a little straighter, reaching the other leg up a little straighter, giving it a nice balance. Maybe the legs stay kind of halfway in that halfway position. Maybe the hands can come out and bring the legs back in. Let's do that one more time. Give yourself a good break. Nice deep breath. Come back into your rounded spine. One foot comes off. The other foot comes off. Maybe lengthening, lengthening. Maybe turning them out just a little bit of Pilates V. Hands come out. Teaser. 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs in. All right. And coming forward. Maybe you come forward over your legs. You can have as much bend in the knee as you'd like. Good. And finished. I think we'll call it there. So I hope you enjoyed. And hope to see you again soon in another class, another video. Please let me know if you have questions. And if you want to get in touch with me, it's info@pilatesonharrison.com or www.ingridschaller.com. Okay, thank you.